What's up, everybody? How we doing today? It is a beautiful Monday. How are you guys doing? All right. Let's get this camera right so it don't fall, because it looks like it want to fall and it looks a little crooked. But we're going to roll with it. So how's everybody doing? See if I can get it right. There we go. All right. So we're here today for what? Money 1.0, and we're talking about everything you as the business owner need to know all about your business numbers. So as a business owner, this is information you need to know. I don't care if you outsource your bookkeeping, if you're doing it yourself, if you have a CPA in your hip pocket, a financial advisor, you are responsible for your business and the success of your business. So you need to know the basics. So today we're talking about money 1.0, and we're just talking about the basics today, right? So here's the thing. Listen to me and hear me on this. All business owners should have a basic understanding of bookkeeping, whether you outsource it, and it can totally be outsourced, so, no worries there. But you still need to know it's up to you to take control of your finances, just like you do as a individual in your household, right, with your family, things like that. You need to take control over your finances, right? In your personal life, I bet you know where your money's going, right? How much is coming in, how much is going out, where it's going out to, and all that good stuff. Well, your business is no different, all right? So, welcome. Those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Felicia Streeter. So, glad to have you here joining me live. Those of you that are here live, I appreciate that. You taking the time out. And we're going to jump right into it. So, we're just talking about some of the things you need to know as it relates to managing your money as the business owner, right? And here's the belief I have for you guys. As a business owner, you go into business to make money, right? Because you want to change your financial situation. You want to change your family lifestyle. Maybe you want more freedom and flexibility. Stability, right? Because jobs don't provide stability these days. So you want all of these things, and the way to have that is what? Stay on top of your business finances and just take control over that. Okay? I have pop-ups here on my phone. So that's what we want to do. So I want to just share with you some things that you need to know. And the first thing I'm going to be sharing is about saving money. So tell me, who does not want to save money? If you want to save money, give me some hearts over on Periscope. Those of you on Facebook, show me some love, thumbs up, hearts, whatever you want to put up there. But if you want to save money, show me that you want to save money, that you want to hear what I have to say about saving money. All right, cool. So here we go, saving money. The one thing you need to know about is your deductions, right? And attached to those deductions, I'm talking about things that can be a tax deduction, is that in order to capture those deductions correctly, you need to make sure that they're posted correctly in your accounting system, meaning that they hit the right category. Now, you may not know exactly all of what I'm talking about, but hear me on this and understand the basic of this, is that when you have a given transaction, you want to know that it's posted to the right category. Why? Because all deductions are not equal. When I say equal, I mean some deductions you may get at 100%, meaning it's a total wash. So like, for example, say you had $100 in income, but then you also had an expense of $100 that is 100% deductible on taxes, which means, okay, so for that $100, you don't have to pay taxes because you had an expense the same, right? But all deductions are not equal. All deductions are not at 100%. Some are at 50%, right? And different things like that. So you need to make sure that they're posted and categorized correctly. What up, Charity? Charity, how are you? Right? So you need to make sure that they're posted correctly. That is really, really key. And we're getting ready to go into tax time. And so it almost would make sense, and especially if you're doing this yourself, you want to go back and make sure you're categorizing your transactions for expenses correctly. Here's what I'm talking about. You don't want to lump all your expenses like into one category. I mean, you should have several like many different categories, just so you know, not like one or two, because then you're generalizing and then you're not going to be able to take advantage of all the deductions that are possible and out there for you. Okay, so that's really, really important. Here's another one. Tax time, right? I'm talking about the tax time when you're filing your taxes. If you do a lot of the prep work, right, and compile things and have things in order, and if you're, whether you're doing the basic bookkeeping yourself and then you're just going to give the files to the CPA, you want to make sure you have everything accounted for. All transactions are posted correctly, not that you have part of a transaction posted, because if you do that, then that means what the CPA has to do the other side, and they're going to charge you for it. Okay, so if you make sure you're doing it correctly, you can save money. Same thing, even if you're giving your stuff to a bookkeeper, if you can compile your information, put some type of organization behind it, right? Take the chaos out of just shoving stuff to them, then again, you're saving your bookkeeper time, right? Which in turn will save you money. So I just shared 2 ways you can save money. One, as it relates to whether you're outsourcing to a bookkeeper or when it's time to get your taxes filed. The other way is with those tax deductions, and that is really, really, really huge, because that is the game changer, where I tell people all the time, for you online people that's watching me, I can almost guarantee that you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table every year when you're filing taxes. Why? Because you're just not tracking everything correctly. And I know you think, oh, I can do it myself, right? I got this, but you haven't had any training. So you need to know this. You need to get it right, because it's costing you money. That's the reality. The second thing I want to share with you is don't bankrupt your business. And here's what I'm talking about. It's a twofold here. One, you can bankrupt your business, and 2, you can be stressing yourself out. And why do that? Let's alleviate the stress. And we definitely don't want you to bankrupt the business, because if you do that, well, there goes your hopes and dreams, right? And no more business for you. And then, I've seen people where they've had to go back and get a job. And here's why. The first thing is in paying yourself. Now, everybody, when you're starting out, you don't do it the traditional way, right? You don't actually physically write yourself a paycheck and say, okay, bi-weekly or however that is. That's Freddie coming in from school. Bi-weekly that, you're going to pay yourself, I don't know, $1,000, something like that, right? No, what you usually do is, right, in the beginning, you just take money out to pay the expenses on the personal side that you need to pay. Well, that's not the correct way to do that. And the thing behind it, not only that, the other part of that is that you could be taking out more than your business can really bear. So if you're doing that, you can actually bankrupt your business, right? So you don't want to do that. And then so every month you're like stressing because you're looking and you're like, looking at that bank account, and that balance is not where you need it to be. But you still have these expenses and you're steady pulling out, and you see no growth. You see, you don't see your bank account growing every month. So you need to be careful of, one, of how you're paying yourself, and 2, how much money you're actually taking out of the business. Because the question you need to really ask yourself and know is, can the business really afford to pay you what you're pulling out? And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in step 3. The other thing, and a lot of people look at this like, and I used to be like this way back in the day before I started the business, what did we like to do at tax time? We were looking forward to those refunds, right? Who did not like a tax refund? Can you hear me? It's good to pay yourself. Yeah, you can pay yourself through PayPal. You can pay yourself however you want. So her question is it okay to pay yourself through PayPal? Yeah, you can PayPal, paycheck, wire transfer, direct deposit, but it's just a matter of how you're doing it. So yeah, if you're doing that consistently, you're tracking it, whether you're doing an owner's draw or doing it via payroll, you want to make sure you're tracking it correctly. Ideally, I would say that you would want to, if you're going to do it consistently, like put yourself on payroll, and there's advantages to that. I don't have time to get into that today, but I'll write that down. That's something, we'll talk about that. Payroll versus owner's draw. And it's a big difference, let me tell you. Payroll is usually, hear me on this, usually better because you get more tax advantages. Okay, so, but that's for a separate thing because I would have to, lay all that out for you guys. But yeah, you can do PayPal. No problem there. So we're talking about taxes and refunds, right? So we all look for refunds, right? Back in the day, I would let them take out as much money as they want. And then I was looking forward to that refund. Like what? We file in January when we have a refund, right? We're waiting on that day to where they say we can file. And so what happens is what? If you think about it, I want you to stop and think about this. So what have you actually done? So here's the scenario. All year long, I'm paying taxes. I'm maxing it out, right? Because I want to get a refund at tax time. Well, the only thing I've done is what? Giving the IRS an interest-free loan all year. So I let them use my money all year, and then they give me a refund, but they don't give me any interest on my money, right? So once I became a business owner, you get hip to some stuff, right? I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I'm going to pay. I'd rather owe them money than they owe me money, because I'd rather use my own money throughout the year how I need to use it to grow my business, right? Build wealth, right, in my business, change my family legacy, and then I'll pay them what I need to pay them at tax time. So that's my mentality. But with that being my mentality, you have to also understand that when you owe taxes, and you should owe taxes in your business, why? Because it means that your business is what? Profitable. If you're never paying taxes in your business, then your business is not profitable. And so here's the thing. As your business grow, you should have to pay more in taxes. Now, there's some tax advantages or deductions that you should be able to take advantage of. And that's where your financial advisors and CPAs and people like that come into play. Why? Because they can help you with that strategy. So don't think that you have to minimize what you're making so that you can pay less in taxes. No, what you want to do is make all the money you can, right? Have to pay taxes at the end of the year, but get yourself a good CPA that know all about the different tax advantages so that you can shelter, hear me on this, shelter as much money as you can, right? And so that you have to pay less in taxes. However, you have more profits, you change your family lifestyle, right? You're living that rich chick lifestyle we be talking about. Or if it's guys, right, you're living a richer life, whatever that looks like for you, but you've changed something and you're living better. You have the financial freedom that you desire, right? You have the stability that you want from your business. So you got to change your mindset around that. Okay. So just remember, write this down. This is a tweetable. If you're paying taxes, then that just means you have a successful business, and it's just a part of doing business. All right. So number 3, the third thing I want to share with you guys about Money 1.0 and the basics of what you guys need to know as a business owner. Because here's the thing. This is what I want you to do. Whether, big, girls, put your big girl panties on, step into those high heels. You have to step into the role of the CEO and CFO of your business, right? You have to be that visionary, and you have to see not only the big picture of your business, but the smaller things, those things that you sometimes think are not important, like financial management. You got to step into that. Guys, same thing. You got to put your pants on and rock this out. So don't discount this. Hear me on this, right? So the third thing is profitability. Okay, I'm tongue-tied. Profitability. There we go. So this is the good part, right? Because we're making money in our business and we're like doing the dance like, what? I got profit in my business, right? I'm able to take those vacations, send my kids to private school. I got that new ride outside, whatever it looks like for you, because it's your money, do you, right? But it's a feeling of success, right? When you're not living paycheck to paycheck and client to client. This is what it looks like. So remember I talked about paying yourself, and I think it was Davia. She talked about paying herself, and she's doing that. So here's the thing. Remember I said you don't want to bankrupt your business, right? Well, a part of that means you need to know what your business can actually afford to pay you. How do you know that? Your books will tell you that. You have to get into those books. Everybody, if you're using spreadsheets, it's not going to tell you everything you know. You need to know. It's only going to tell you what you set it up to tell you. You got to get inside of an accounting system so that you can get answers to the questions you don't know to ask. How do you get them? Because you're clicking around on stuff that you don't have any business, right? It's not what you're trying to do, but you click, and then pop up this report and you're like, oh. And you start looking and it tells you some things and give you answers to the questions that you didn't even know to ask. So here's the thing with paying yourself. There's a percentage of what you should be paying yourself out of your business, number one. And then let me rephrase this. It's a two-part. So there's a percentage of what you should be paying yourself out of your business based off of, one, how much your business is making. So that's one scenario. And the other scenario is, two, you look at what the industry is paying someone for that skill set or that particular service that you're providing. So if that makes sense. So it's a kind of a twofold thing. So one, industry tells you, for example, say bookkeepers. You might say a bookkeeper, doing job costing, notes payable, the whole realm for a client may easily, and depending on their volume, make $2,000 a month off of that one client, right? But your business cannot afford to pay you $2,000 a month, right? After you say if that's your only client, right, you take out your business expenses. Well, if you're only making $2,000, right, after business expenses, you don't have $2,000 left every month. So you can't ideally take out $2,000 because if you do, what's going to happen? You're going to bankrupt your business. So you need to know, although industry says, right, give you something to shoot for, but as of right now, what can my business afford to pay me? So ideally, if you're making, write this down, less than $250,000 a year, that means you're the CEO, CFO, the secretary, right? You're the everything in your business. And so therefore, you should be paying yourself ideally about 50% of what your income is. Now, if your expenses are higher than what they should be, then that's not feasible for you to do, but that's what you should be doing. So now you have something to shoot for. So in the meantime, you have to run those numbers. What's up, Lorraine? Run those numbers and actually see what your business can really afford to pay you. Okay, so that's really, really important. The next thing, profit, right? If you're on top of your money, you should be setting aside some profit every month based off the income that you're bringing in. Okay? And off of that, so you're setting aside every month money, as you have income come in, there's a percentage of that you should be setting aside for profit. Now, again, most of you, when clients come to me and those in my boot camp that's coming up next week, they're probably not proportioned correctly. They probably don't have the percentages correct as it relates to, let me break this out for you, expenses, what they're paying themselves, profit, and taxes. So we have to, or I have to meet them where they're at, right? Come up with a plan for that, for the here and now, plus we create a plan for where you actually should be and what your business really should be setting aside for profit, right? So you have something to shoot for. You kind of know where to start, right? And then every quarter we're adjusting, right? Getting to the point, right? Get into a rhythm, and then we adjust, and eventually you are where you need to be. And so every month you're setting aside, or twice a month you're setting aside money into a particular profit account. And then quarterly you take a profit distribution, right? Now that does not mean that you empty out the profit account every quarter, because again, it's based off a percentage, right? So you'll take some, but ideally you'll leave some in there. And again, it's based off the percentages, number one, and then it's based off of where your business is at and how much money your business is making, okay? So again, this is the good part, profitability. Third, taxes. Nobody wants to be surprised with a big tax bill that they cannot afford to pay. Now, I don't know about you. My business grew really, really fast. And in an 18-month period, we went from $23,000 to over $7 million. Hello. Okay, so what happened is what? And here's the thing. See, we don't know what we don't know, and we can't ask the questions that we don't know to ask, right? So it happens so fast, right? And that we usually can't be prepared for it because we don't know until it happens that, oh my gosh, now I need this, and that, right? So the first year we got hit with a really big tax bill, like over probably almost $200,000, right? Because, you know, we didn't have those tax shelters that I talked about set up. But you can guarantee come the next year, oh, we was ready for that, right? Okay, but so here's the thing. Nobody wants to be surprised with a big tax bill like that. So what I'm teaching now is profit strategies, and that as income come in, right, just like you're setting the money aside to pay yourself, paying expenses, putting it into that profit account, you need to be stashing some cash for tax time. And you know, a lot of people are like, oh, it's just January, it's March, it's June. I haven't really made any money yet, so I'm not going to stash any cash. And then what happens? You have this inflow come the end of the year, or you have a really great December, and then hello, here come this tax bill, and you're not ready for it. I'm telling you, stash some cash for tax time. Get inside of your accounting system. You can do the calculations, quarterly adjust, and be setting money aside to go into those various accounts based off of the percentages of your income in your business, right? And there's a certain percentage that you set aside for the various paying yourself, expenses, taxes, and profit, so that you can get a profit distribution. Because you want to see yourself doing that happy dance, be like, what? Right? When you start paying yourself a profit and a paycheck, yeah, that'll make you do a dance. So here's the thing. And then also, if you're stashing cash for tax time, if you have money in this profit account, right? And even if, say, you didn't have enough in the tax account to pay, well, you'll still have a overflow in the profit account so that you can pull from there at tax time if you need to. But here's what it presents. We're talking about saving money. Money 1.0, about saving money, is that if you have the money to pay, one, you don't have to file late, right? Because one, you've been doing your books on a regular monthly basis. Two, you file on time. And three, you can pay when you file. And so now you don't have any late fees and no penalties for not paying the tax on time, right? So I hope that was beneficial for you guys. Now, I'm not saying, hear me on this. Hear me. I'm not saying that for all three of those accounts that we just talked about, that every time you're going to be pulling out all the money, bringing those accounts to a zero. You shouldn't be doing that either. Remember, it's just a percentage, right? It's a percentage. Keep saying it's a percentage, not all of it, not all, a percentage, okay? And then, so what I just shared with you guys is what? Let's recap. Let me tell you what I shared with you guys in case you missed something. The first thing I shared is what? Ways to save money. We talked about tax deductions, staying on top of that, making sure things are categorized correctly. We talked about filing on time, having your stuff compiled together, whether you're giving it to a bookkeeper, a CPA, or you're doing it yourself. That'll save you time and money, right? Number two, we talked about don't bankrupt your business, okay? And not stress yourself out. So we talked about how you should be paying yourself, and, you know, what your business can actually afford to pay you. We talked about how your taxes must be paid, right? We talked about being profitable, keeping your business at a financially fit status, right? And just know that paying taxes is a sign of what? Having a successful business. Third, we talked about profitability, right? This was the good part. We talked about paying yourself. We talked about the percentages. We talked about profit, quarterly distributions of the profit. We talked about stashing cash for taxes, right? And that you don't take all the money. Say it with me. You don't take all the money. You're going to take a percentage, right? So as I said at the beginning, all business owners, that means I'm talking to you that are watching, whether you're here live or the replay, all business owners should have a basic understanding of bookkeeping, even though it can be totally outsourced. So I know I covered a lot with you guys today. You may be like, your head spinning because a lot of people don't like numbers. And guess what? You don't have to do numbers. Bookkeeping, the accounting system does most of the numbers for you. All the calculations is pre-formulated. You just have to input some basic information, right? And you got to compile it before you can input it. So here's what I want to share with you guys. I've been sharing this, and like I said, I know this was a lot that I covered today, but I do want to invite you. I have Charity on here, Davia, Lorraine, you guys, hear me on this. I do want to invite you to the Money Boot Camp. It's starting next week, right? If you can't make a call live, no worries. There's replays. You get all of the goodies. So no worries there. There's weekly Q&A, open Q&A, open office hours so that you can ask me individual questions based on your business, because you may not want everybody to hear it, right? Some people are really personal about their business finances, and I understand that. So I make myself available for that. But here's what you're going to get. My daily and monthly money activities, because I can guarantee you you're missing something. And if you're missing something, that means you're missing out on your money. That means you're probably paying more in taxes than you should be paying. And we're doing this right in time for what? To get your stuff together so that you can file your taxes on time, maximize your deductions, right? And not have a high tax liability. I'm going to also share my daily money practice. Why? Because people have been asking about it, that I feel I should just go ahead and share it. So I'm going to do that in the boot camp, because what it did for me, it allowed me to, in my current business, to hit 10K. That's $10,000, right? While I was recovering from surgery and I wasn't really working. You heard me, right? So money practice work. Actually, if you have a money practice, you could probably do less work. I'm just keeping it real. Okay. How I track and keep more of the money I make. This is where we're talking about paying yourself, right? Banking profits, right? Stashing that cash for tax time. How do you do all that? I'm sharing the number one secret to all of that. The number one secret. So you're going to be able to pay yourself. Here's the thing. During the boot camp, you're going to actually cut yourself a check. That's right. You're going to pay yourself. Not only are you going to do it once during the boot camp, but you're going to do it bi-weekly from there on out. Why? Because we're going to set it up during the boot camp to where bi-weekly, well, not bi-weekly, but and we set the dates, the 10th and the 25th. You're going to pay yourself, from your business. You're going to bank some profit, and you're going to stash some money for tax time so that there's no surprises, right? You're going to do that. I'm sharing all that during the boot camp. You're going to get my daily action steps. What do I do as it relates to money? I'm talking about tracking money coming in, money going out, making sure you're not leaving any money on the table. Like people owe you money and you forget all about it and stuff. No, we don't want that. We want our money, right? Checklist. You're going to get my top 3 priorities that you should be doing every day. Every day, right? The tasks you're forgetting and transactions that's causing you what? To have money leaks in your business. We need to plug those money leaks. I don't know about you guys, but I don't play about my money. And so I'm assuming as a business owner, you don't play about your money either. So we need to get some stuff in place. And here's the thing. This is what you're going to go from. You're going to go from, I could never, right? Like I could never do my own books. I could never figure this stuff out. My business will never pay me. No, you're going to go from I never to what I should be paying myself to I did pay myself. You see the expression there? I could never pay myself to I should be paying myself to, yeah, I did pay myself, right? 10th and the 25th. That's what you're going to be saying. Yep, I just cut my check, right? And you're going to celebrate. So you're going to get everything you need to do on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. What you need to prioritize to track and keep more of the money that you're making. We're going to keep it simple, right? You're going to get the money practice. And so where do you go find out about this? And there is a bit.ly link. You can go to bit.ly/bootcamp-workflow. Let me say that. bit.ly/bootcamp-workflow. Go there and check it out. Sign up. We would love to have you. Those of you that are here live as well as the replay viewers, go check it out. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Message me over on Facebook. I'm at Felicia Streeter. I'll answer any questions. If it's pulling to you, this is speaking to you, the information I shared, come join us because it's going to be game changer. It always is. And if you go to the page, you'll see all of the testimonials. They're on there of those who have come before you and the success they're having in their business. Okay. So if you have any questions, come talk to me. This is something that I want to if you feel you need it, let's figure out how to get you in the boot camp, okay? Money is not an issue, right? Say that. Money is not an issue. Is there any questions? You have any questions for me? Any questions about what we covered today? Money 1.0, what you need to know. Any questions? Any questions about the money boot camp? How long is it, right? I kind of told you what we're going to cover, but what we talked about today, the overview of all the things I shared, you're going to actually do those things during the boot camp. So you're not going to just get the overview. You're going to actually do the work, right? At the end of the boot camp, there will be no work to do. It will just be rinse and repeat at that point because we do the work during the boot camp. Any questions? Any questions? Right? So remember, we start next week. What is the link? It's bit.ly/bootcamp-workflow. Again, bit.ly/bootcamp-workflow. Would love to have you. If you have any questions, if money is an issue, you say money is an issue, message me, right? We want to get you into the boot camp. Don't let that stop you. Okay? Any questions? All right, if there's no questions, well, we're going to end it at that, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome rest of your day. Bye-bye.